On Fridays on Local 4 Live, we like to take a look at the big stories of the week. This week, it was a shooting at the CrossPointe Community Church in Wayne. On Sunday morning, a gunman walked up to the church and started firing. Police say a deacon who was running late for church saw the shooter in the parking lot, then hit the shooter with his car. Then nearby security officers opened fire, killing that man. One security guard was shot in the leg. The other security guard's name is Jay Trombley, and he spoke to our Lauren Kostick about the entire ordeal.
What's been going through your head these last few days?
Just trying to process the events that happened here Sunday. Piecing together information that is still coming in as I talk to other safety team members, other people from the church, to put together how the events unfolded and who was where and how God put us in that precise place at the right time to help us.
Because this could have been such a tragedy. We talked about that. Talk about that timing. I mean, the day started, it was normal, you're having service. Take me, if you don't mind, just the beginning. I don't want to get too much into the details, but just talk about that timing of where you were and how everything kind of just unfolded.
So this past week we had VBS with over 80 kids, I believe, that learned about God. And on every Sunday after VBS, the sanctuary stays decorated in the theme of whatever the VBS was this year. And the kids get to perform the songs they learned, and the congregation, and we end up, it's a special day. It's with people who aren't normally here. Their kids came to the VBS, so they're there with their kids. There was people here that weren't normally in our building. And the kids got through all their program and were just leaving the stage to go sit with their parents, to participate in the service of Pastor Kelly. And that's when things started happening. I heard a noise that, initial thought, I thought it was a mechanical issue in the building. That was a very quick thought, because as I was thinking that, I saw movement, turned around the cry room with his all open glass windows behind me. I see people panicking and running. I asked what was that noise. I thought maybe it was something in that room that I was standing in front of. And the young lady said, AR-15. That's all she said. And I said, where? She pointed, and I went that direction. And from there, I went out and tried to evaluate the situation, where things were, what was happening. I could see the commotion out the front doors. You know, there shouldn't be a pickup truck on the front lawn. Why is there a guy laying here? Why is the truck smoking? And I went out the door, evaluated the situation, realized what was happening, recognized the man who the pickup belonged to out in the front lawn. So I knew it was his truck. That brings pieces together. Focus on the man on the ground and realize that there's bad intentions that's going on. Retreated a bit because it looked like he was starting to focus my way or something like that. There was gunfire away from me. I learned now that he was engaging another safety team member to the west of where we were in front of the building. And that member was engaging with him. And as I retreated into the lobby, another safety team member who was in the service with his family and his grandkids came out into the lobby, running to the sound of gunfire. And he and I kind of crossed paths. I've seen the video. He was evaluating the situation. I could see in his mind he was trying to figure out what was going on. The man outside turned and fired through the front glass into our lobby. God's hands protected me from what I've seen, the evidence through the tablecloths and the tables and the window and the marks on the walls and down the hallways. I don't know how I didn't get hit. Ron was injured in the leg. Evidently, as the man came up, went down, checked to see where he was, and then focused back on the bad guy. And he couldn't move, his leg was broken, but he was focused on the bad guy. And then I came back around. As I'm watching, I could see the man go down, but still had his weapons, and I engaged him. And then went outside. I was comfortable enough to go out and remove his long rifle, and then evaluate some more that he had more weapons, and I was able to clear them from him. Our team member from the west side that had been engaging him came down with me. We covered the man. He was still moving around. We covered him. A third member came out, and instantly, it seemed like instantly, law enforcement was standing in front of us.
In that video, everyone was running away, but you guys ran towards that gunfire. A lot of times we don't know what we would do in that situation. What made you say, okay, I'm going?
So I've said this previously, and that's a question. It's a question. As God has had us preparing 10 years for this, and training and working with other godly men to give us the skills to protect our family, that question runs through your mind. And that was one of the things that I remember thinking, is that I've always wondered, when I hear that sound, will I run to it or will I run from it? Even though I had this training, will I? And I don't, I asked and I was out the door. I answered my question Sunday. God put me right there.
Oh, I could listen to him all day. The other security officer who was shot in the leg underwent surgery and will need months of rehab.